Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Think Tank. My name is Greg. In this video, I am going to be showing you comments from an individual that started off making very wild claims. They started off trying to claim that Genesis chapters 1 through 6, God is plural. Well, one of the things I want to show you is the word God. In the entire Bible, it appears over 4,400 times. And the word that is used in Genesis, the first 6 chapters, is what I have in the bottom there. And I'll be getting to that, but to say that it's just Genesis 1 through chapter 1 through chapter 6, false. It goes all the way through. There's Genesis chapter 9, same word. There's down where it changes that I see here is in Genesis 14, it switches over to the shortened form, which would be L. And just for that, it is, you can see that it is making a statement about Abram of the Most High God. The idea that something being the word Elohim, that because that's a plural term, that means you can shove Jesus in there and some holy Casper in there, that's horseshit. Jews simply don't have the same idea regarding things being plural that we have in English. There is also the aspect, one of the things you see is the capitalizing of a name or whatnot. In Hebrew, they don't have that. There is no capitalizing the first letter in a name. So there are different rules linguistically. But it does have the word God's, or the word God in the beginning of the Bible is the word Elohim. But that does not mean that a Jesus is present. Simply no. The thing is, they make the claim that the Trinity is in the New Testament. Well, let's take a look at typing the word up here, and I'll have it entire Bible. No verses found. The word Trinity does not appear in the Bible. That is because this concept was made up by the church. It is not in the Bible. Just like the word rapture, not in the Bible. It was made up by the church. While an argument can be made that the idea is there, that is people reading into. But the words themselves simply do not appear. That is one of the things that is very nice about the eSword Bible. That if somebody tries to say something is in the Bible, it is easy to look it up. And the way you get this with the e-sword is going to the binoculars, either there or there. And when you click on that, it'll bring up this, which you can select either the KJV Plus, which will have the green numbers to the side to go to the Strongs, or you can have just KJV. You can also do a looking for any of the words or a specific word or even a specific phrase. And then there's also, you can hone in on different parts of the Bible if what you're looking for, is like, say what you're looking for is in the Gospels. You can focus strictly on that, and it'll only bring up places where the word appears in that section. So that's one thing that's nice about the e-sword. It's a good tool to use, and it's something that I do feel anyone, atheist, Christian, whatnot, if you're going to talk about the subject, you should have one of these in front of you so that you can be sure that you're getting it correct for what is there. But they then made the claim that, and I do want to start off, you notice this says paraphrased. If you're paraphrasing, you're not quoting. So it shouldn't be in quotes because it's not a quote from this person, so name dropping them doesn't mean a damn. And if you want to be, who is this David R. Hawkins? That's him. And I have this other picture censored because YouTube would probably have a fit at the nasty bits that are shown in that picture. And the trans crap we have going on in our society would probably bitch about the idea of the female being is a portal between the spiritual realm and the physical realm. The only force in the universe powerful enough to navigate and incarnate unborn spirits into our world. The whole trans bullshit, they want to try and act like whatever you want to identify as is what you are, which is utter horseshit. The thing is, to try and act as if there is this ethereal body or whatnot, number one, you have to prove that. And then to try and say that it can feel pain and pleasure, once again, evidence. Just because you can make a claim about X does not mean your claim is true. Then we have, they tried mentioning an LAMSA translation of the Bible. And I had asked, what's that? Losers are making stupid arguments? Because I was initially thinking like the KJV is the King James Version and so forth. There's acronyms that are given for different Bible translations. I did not think when I first saw that it was talking about this jackass, George LAMSA, Lamsa. Well, who the fuck is he and why should I give a damn? But you notice the centering in on the Jew aspect. This is something I see so much with things like BitChute, and I have absolutely no tolerance for it. If you're going to be anti-Semitic and anti-Jew, you can fuck off. I'm not about putting up with people that want to try and act as if there's something wrong with being a Jew or somebody that is a Jew. No, that's Hitler type of thinking, and I will not put up with it. Simply put, I have no patience for it. This person got blocked because of what I regard as the anti-Semitic, Nazi-like thinking. They can just fuck right the hell off. The thing is, they do point out that the word Lucifer is talking about a king of Babylon, and really to go and be more toward what Mark Powers would have said. Yes, Isaiah 14 is more talking about a king of Babylon and a king that died. And yes, in the Old Testament, the word Lucifer is not there because that word didn't exist until King James. However, what I focus on with the Jesus Lucifer idea is the morning star, as well as the behavior and character, the behavior of Jesus, as well as the message. It far more fits someone that is trying to replace the God of the Bible, the God of the Old Testament, and make themselves a God. So in a way, if you want to say the Jesus Lucifer is a bit of hyperbole, maybe. But the correlation does raise an interesting, could there be more to this? Especially because it's not just dealing with what the word Lucifer means, but also the behavioral characteristics that we see from this character that is called Jesus. Now, it could also be argued that these behavioral aspects are actually not what a person may have been like, but rather is like the last 12 chapters of Mark, chapter 16, where Bart Ehrman had pointed out that in the earliest manuscripts, it ends, Mark 16 ends at verse 8. But the church leaders couldn't accept that that's where the story ended, so they added the last 12 verses. We have no way of knowing how much of this shit that is attributed to the character of Jesus was actually said by a Jesus or anybody of that nature. Or was it put in by the church long after the fact? Because I would argue and point out that even the earliest of the writings with the New Testament are, I think the earliest is like 50 years after the fact. 50 years after something, to try and say that you are going to have an account of every word that someone said, I call bullshit. Especially when you're talking about a time frame in history where there were no tape recordings. People were not taking notes when somebody was talking. There's no way to prove that what somebody said 50 years ago is verbatim what they said. People can't remember every word of a speech or a talk now. To try and act like you could hear something and then 50 years later recount it verbatim, that's horseshit. That's absolutely impossible. I would contend nobody could watch one of my videos and then wait an hour and then recount every word perfectly without making any notes, without recording it or having it anywhere else that you can hear it again. No, just going by listening to it one time, then wait an hour and repeat every word verbatim. You can't do it. It is humanly impossible. And if it's impossible to do that today, it's impossible to say that any of this shit is accurate for what would have been said. Because nobody is going to remember something, even a lecture or a talk, for a few hours or even an hour. You're not going to remember every word. And then if you toss in not just an hour, but years, even 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and repeat that message exactly word for word as it was given, can't be done. Simply can't be done. Which means all of this shit, even if it would be as close to accurate as humanly possible, there's still going to be changes from what was said to what was then recorded 50 to 100 or more years after the fact. But to go around and try to have anti-Semitic type of remarks, I won't put up with it. I've dealt with enough of that shit on BitChute. I don't understand where people have that, and I don't give a fuck if somebody that is showing anti-Semitism tries to be, I like your videos. Fuck off. You're an anti-Semite. If you like my videos, you should know I am very much... It's not that I am fond of Jews. I don't like or dislike. But I'm not going to put up with people trying to spew venom at a group just because they're different. I would have the same reaction if people would be using racist language on my channel. They would get blocked just as fast. It doesn't matter to me if it's Jews, black people, even homosexuals. I don't give a fuck. In my videos, I address the issues that I'm covering, not attacking a person. There is a clear difference. I have massive disdain for Christianity. And on the aspect of Christians, that goes on a personal what they have done basis. But feel free to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Later, people.